All right, let's dive into this whole AI and business thing. You guys send over a ton of stuff, and wow, there's some really interesting stuff in here.
It's pretty wild, right? I mean, AI's potential is just huge.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're on the edge of something massive here. There's this real sense of urgency around AI right now.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like we either get on board or get left behind.
And we definitely don't want to be left behind.
Definitely not. I mean, we might be talking about a shift even bigger than what happened with software as a service, SaaS.
Maybe even bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of big shifts, one thing that keeps popping up in these sources is this idea of AI agents. Some experts are calling it a trillion-dollar market opportunity, which is just mind-blowing. So can you break down what these AI agents actually are and why there's so much hype around them?
Okay, so AI agents, they're basically like these autonomous apps that work for you 24/7. Imagine having a digital assistant that doesn't just manage your schedule,
Right.
but it also negotiates deals for you, writes amazing marketing copy, analyzes market trends, all while you're focusing on the big picture stuff.
That's incredible. It's like having a whole team of experts at your fingertips working around the clock.
Exactly.
But I can also see why some people might be a little freaked out about AI taking over jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of the sources you sent touch on that fear.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, for sure. But a lot of experts are talking about this idea of value arbitrage. Basically, what that means is we can use AI to become so much more efficient and productive
Oh.
that it actually creates new opportunities instead of just getting rid of old jobs. Think of it like this. AI can handle those tedious tasks that eat up our time, and then that frees us up to focus on the things that really matter. The strategy, the creative problem solving, building those relationships, things that AI can't really do.
So instead of looking at AI as this job-stealing monster, we should see it as a tool that helps us, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. It's about working with AI, not against it.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, we're already seeing people successfully using AI to build businesses, like right now. One source mentions this guy, Liam Otley, who built a multi-million-dollar business using AI in just 2 years.
Yeah. Starting from scratch, too, which is insane.
That's amazing. And it really shows the potential, right? Are there any other examples of people, killing it with AI right now?
Absolutely. There's this guy, Isaiah, who scaled his AI automation agency to $225,000 a month by selling AI-powered appointment scheduling.
That's wild. So there's definitely a demand for AI solutions, even for very specific things like that.
Huge demand. AI is not just some futuristic fantasy. It's happening right now.
It's the real deal, yeah. So let's dig into some specific business models. You mentioned agents as a service as a potential rival to the SaaS model. Can you explain what that is and how it might work?
Agents as a service is basically like SaaS, but with AI agents. It's about providing businesses with these pre-trained AI agents that can handle very specific tasks for them.
Makes sense. And you mentioned there are different types of these agents, right? Horizontal and vertical. What's the difference?
Right. So horizontal agents are kind of like all-rounders.
Mm.
They can be adapted and customized for different clients and needs. One example from the sources is agency form, which can be used for lots of different marketing and automation tasks.
Okay, so it's versatile.
Super versatile. And then you've got vertical agents, which are more specialized. They're designed for a specific industry or a very particular role.
Ah, I see. So like a vertical agent could be specifically built for, say, sales in the real estate market or customer service for an online store, something like that.
Exactly. That's the idea. The sources actually mention some real-world examples, like 11x for sales, Carmen for the construction industry, and Normie for regulatory compliance. These niche agents are super focused, so they're often easier to pitch to clients,
Yeah, because they solve a very specific problem. All right, so this is all super fascinating, but let's get down to brass tacks. What are some specific business ideas that we can pull from these sources, ideas that really focus on how AI can be used to automate and streamline things?
One that really stands out is this idea of an AI-powered freelance website. Imagine a platform where instead of hiring human freelancers, you're actually hiring AI agents to do the work faster, cheaper, and potentially with higher profit margins.
That would be a game changer for sure. But wouldn't using only AI for things like writing or design, creative work lead to a drop in quality? Wouldn't it lack that human touch?
Yeah, that's a real concern.
Yeah.
While AI can produce some amazing stuff, it's still early days, right? It's likely that human oversight, that human touch, will still be important for a while, especially in fields that require nuanced understanding and emotional intelligence.
Right. So it's more about AI working alongside humans, not completely replacing us.
Definitely. It's about collaboration, not replacement.
Makes sense. So what other cool business ideas are out there that use AI for automation?
Well, another interesting one is this AI-powered sales letter generator. The idea is to analyze past sales calls that were successful, figure out the patterns in the language that worked,
Okay.
and then use that data to generate automated video sales letters using AI avatars.
That's really interesting. But wouldn't it be tough to train AI to like really understand the nuances of effective sales language? And wouldn't it risk sounding robotic and impersonal, which could actually turn off potential clients?
Yeah, those are good points. It would definitely be tricky. You'd have to make sure that AI-generated content doesn't sound generic or fake. That means using really sophisticated natural language processing, and the ability to personalize messages based on each customer's data would be key.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a major shift in how businesses connect with their customers. So are there any other ways AI could be used to automate marketing and customer service stuff?
Oh, tons. One area with huge potential is social media management. There are AI tools out there like Tapo that can already generate content for different platforms. Imagine being able to manage multiple clients efficiently by letting AI create engaging posts, schedule everything, and even analyze performance data.
That would free up so much time for social media managers, right? They could actually focus on the strategic stuff instead of getting bogged down in the day-to-day grind.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, remember.
Totally.
Mm.
So are there any other ways AI can help businesses find new opportunities or improve what they're already doing?
Absolutely. One source talks about an AI agent that basically scans the web for trending B2B SaaS tools
Right.
that have a solid customer base but maybe aren't making the most of their monetization. The agent could alert entrepreneurs to these potential gaps in the market, allowing them to launch competing products or even acquire the existing ones.
That's smart. It's like having a digital scout always on the lookout for the next big thing. What about ideas that focus on improving existing businesses? Are there any examples of using AI to glean insights from customer feedback, for instance?
Oh, definitely. There's this idea for AI-powered customer feedback analysis. Basically, you'd use AI to sift through mountains of customer feedback reviews, surveys, social media comments, the whole shebang,
Yeah.
and use it to identify hidden needs or pain points that customers might not even be directly expressing. This kind of analysis could be pure gold for businesses looking to refine their products or services.
It's like having a superpowered focus group, analyzing tons of data to figure out what people really want. But wouldn't there be a risk of the AI misinterpreting the feedback or focusing on the wrong signals? Could AI miss those subtle nuances that a human analyst might pick up on?
That's a great point, and it shows that human oversight and critical thinking are still crucial. AI is great at crunching numbers and analyzing data, but human intuition and experience are still needed to make sense of it all and make the right decisions. It's all about finding that sweet spot between AI's analytical power and human judgment.
Right, it's about that balance.
Exactly.
This is all super promising, but I also want to touch on the potential downsides. One source mentions this pretty controversial idea of AI-powered employee replacement. Can you tell us more about that and what it might mean for the future of work?
Yeah, it's a big one. The idea is to develop AI agents that can essentially function as full-blown employees.
Yeah.
By feeding them job descriptions and company documents, they could theoretically learn to perform specific roles within a company.
So we're talking about training AI to literally take over jobs that humans currently do. That brings up some serious questions about job displacement and the ethics of automating certain roles, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The potential for AI to automate certain jobs is definitely real, and it's something we need to think about very carefully. As we develop this technology, we have to figure out how to help workers whose jobs might be affected. We need to upskill and reskill them so they're prepared for the new world of work. And of course, we need to consider the ethics of replacing human interaction in certain jobs, like in healthcare, counseling, or education. There are some areas where human connection is irreplaceable.
It feels like we're stepping into this new era where the lines between human work and AI are blurring. How do we navigate this transition responsibly and make sure that everyone benefits from AI's advancements?
It's a complex challenge that requires everyone to work together, governments, businesses, educational institutions. We need to invest in education and training programs that equip people with the skills they need to thrive in an AI-driven world. And we need to foster a culture of lifelong learning so people can adapt as the job market changes.
Yeah, it's not just a technological revolution, it's a societal one.
Exactly. And we need to make sure it works for everyone.
One area where AI can clearly make things more efficient is customer service. What are your thoughts on AI-powered support ticket automation?
It's a brilliant idea, especially for companies dealing with a ton of support requests. Imagine an AI that can analyze common issues, provide automated responses, and even come up with solutions.
So basically, it would analyze patterns in support tickets, turn FAQs into helpful documentation, and generate automated responses for those everyday problems. It could dramatically cut down response times, free up human agents to handle more complex issues, and potentially save companies a lot of money.
Exactly. It's all about making things faster, smoother, and more cost-effective.
But what about those situations where a customer really needs a human touch or has a problem that goes beyond the AI's capabilities?
You're right, that's important. The system should always give customers the option to connect with a human agent if they need to. It's not about replacing human agents entirely. It's about supporting them and making their jobs easier.
It's about striking that balance,
Right,
right?
exactly.
So beyond customer service, are there other areas where AI can be used to create content or analyze data for valuable insights?
Definitely. One idea that caught my eye is AI-driven content generation. Tools like ChatGPT are already out there, and they can be used to create ebooks, articles, all sorts of content. And, by looking at trending topics on Google Trends, you can make sure you're creating content that people actually want to read.
So it's like having a content machine that never runs out of ideas.
Mm.
But doesn't that risk creating a flood of generic AI-written content that lacks, originality and depth? How do we make sure AI is used to boost creativity instead of just churning out formulaic stuff?
It's a valid concern for sure. The quality of AI-generated content really depends on the prompts you give it and the data it's trained on. It's
Hmm.
crucial to use these tools thoughtfully and not rely on them to just pump out generic content. It's about using AI as a starting point, a tool for inspiration, not a replacement for human creativity.
So it's about that partnership again.
Exactly.
What about using AI to analyze customer data? Any cool examples of that in the sources you looked at?
Oh, there's a really interesting one about AI-powered customer churn prediction. Basically, by looking at user behavior and patterns, an AI could predict which customers are likely to churn, giving businesses a 90-day heads up to fix potential problems and keep those customers happy.
That's incredibly valuable. Being able to anticipate churn and proactively address it would be a game changer for so many businesses. But are there any potential downsides or challenges to using AI for churn prediction?
Definitely, accuracy is key. If the AI is making bad predictions, it can waste time and resources or even damage customer relationships. You got to make sure you're using reliable data, refining those algorithms, and constantly checking the AI's performance.
So like with any AI solution, it's all about careful monitoring and constant improvement.
Absolutely. AI is powerful, but it's not magic. It takes planning, implementation, and ongoing management to get it right.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. It's clear that AI offers tons of opportunities for creating innovative businesses and streamlining existing processes. But it also raises big questions about the future of work, the ethics of using AI, and the need to develop and implement it responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how to actually monetize these AI-powered business ideas. We'll look at different pricing strategies, real-world examples, and the key things to consider when building a successful AI-driven business.
Sounds good. Can't wait.
Stay tuned. It's going to be good. All right, so we've talked about all these amazing AI business opportunities and how AI can really shake things up across different industries. But now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do we actually make money from these innovative ideas?
That's a great point, because even the coolest AI solution won't go very far without a solid plan for making a profit. So what are some of the go-to pricing models for AI agents? And how do you figure out which one's the best fit?
Okay, so one common approach is token-based pricing. It's a usage-based model where clients basically pay for how much they use the AI agent.
Token-based. I'm not really familiar with that. Could you break it down a bit? What are these tokens and how do they relate to pricing?
Sure. Think of tokens as like units of processing power. The more complex the task or the longer it takes, the more tokens the AI agent will use. Each token has a set price, so the total cost depends on how many tokens are used.
So it's kind of like paying for the amount of work the AI actually does.
Exactly. You pay for what you get.
Makes sense. But wouldn't it be hard for clients to estimate costs up front, especially for projects that are really complex?
Yeah, that's a valid point. Token-based pricing can make budgeting a bit unpredictable, especially when you're dealing with tasks that have a lot of variables. That's why a lot of people prefer fixed-rate pricing in certain situations.
Fixed rate. Okay, how does that work and what are the advantages?
With fixed rate pricing, clients pay a set fee to access the AI agent, no matter how much they use it. It's like a subscription. This makes budgeting way easier, and it's super simple to understand.
That sounds pretty appealing for both sides, the client and the business. But wouldn't you risk undercharging if the AI agent ends up doing way more work than you initially thought?
Yeah, that's the trade-off. You got to be really careful when you're setting that fixed price. You need to analyze the tasks the AI agent will handle, factor in a margin of safety, and make sure you're covering your costs and making a profit.
So it seems like each pricing model has its pros and cons.
Mhm.
What about outcome-based pricing? That sounds kind of interesting. How does that apply to AI agents?
Outcome-based pricing is all about aligning incentives. It's really cool, actually. You only charge based on the results the AI agent delivers, not just the time or processing power it uses. So, for instance, you could charge per appointment booked, per lead generated, or per sale closed.
So the client only pays if the AI actually gets results. That seems pretty fair, and it probably motivates everyone involved to perform well. But what if it's tough to measure the outcome of a particular task or service? How do you handle that?
That's where it can get tricky. Outcome-based pricing works best when you have clear, measurable results that are directly linked to what the AI agent does. If the results are vague or influenced by external factors, this pricing model might not be the best choice.
It sounds like picking the right pricing model really depends on what the AI agent actually does and what the clients need. Are there any other pricing strategies out there, or is it usually one of these three approaches?
Well, you can also go for hybrid models, which basically combine different elements from various pricing strategies. This gives you more flexibility and lets you customize things. For example, you could have a base fee for accessing the AI agent and then add performance-based bonuses on top of that. Or you could offer tiered pricing structures with different levels of service and corresponding prices.
So you can mix and match to find what works best.
Exactly. The main takeaway is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to pricing AI agents. You gotta be flexible, think outside the box, and be willing to experiment to find the perfect fit for your AI solution and your target market.
What other things should people consider when they're figuring out how to monetize AI agents? What are some of the key factors?
One big thing is your value proposition. What makes your AI agent special? What unique benefits does it offer that clients can't get anywhere else? How can you communicate those benefits clearly and effectively?
So it's not just about the technology, it's about how you present it and position it in the market.
Exactly. You've got to nail that messaging. And you also need to think about your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? What are their pain points, their needs? And how can your AI agent solve those problems effectively? Understanding your audience is key for crafting the right marketing messages and choosing the most effective pricing strategies.
It seems like building a successful AI business isn't just about having cool technology. It takes a deep understanding of the market, a solid business plan, and the ability to communicate the value of your solution to the right people.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And it's an ongoing process, too. You always need to be learning, adapting, and refining your approach based on feedback from the market and the latest advancements in AI.
It sounds like a really exciting and dynamic space to be in.
It totally is. There's so much potential.
This has been a super insightful discussion about the different pricing models and strategies for making money with AI agents. As we head into the final part of our deep dive, I'm curious to explore the bigger picture, the implications of AI on a broader scale, and how we can make sure it's developed and used responsibly. We've really gone deep on AI business opportunities, from the possibilities of AI agents to the nuts and bolts of pricing strategies. But as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to zoom out a bit and talk about the bigger picture of AI. The impact it's having on society and how we can make sure it's being developed and used ethically.
Yeah, that's super important. We can't just focus on the business side of things. We got to acknowledge that AI is not just some tech trend. It's a force that's shaping the world around us. And it brings up a whole bunch of ethical questions.
Yeah.
We need to be really thoughtful about how AI affects the workforce, privacy, and even the very nature of what it means to be human and creative.
One concern that I keep hearing is that AI could make existing biases even worse. If AI systems are trained on biased data, they're going to perpetuate those biases, maybe even amplify them. And that could lead to some pretty unfair and discriminatory outcomes.
Absolutely. That's a huge concern. It all comes down to the data we use to train these AI systems. We need to make sure that training data is diverse and representative, and we need ways to spot and fix biases. Transparency and accountability are key here.
Another big issue is AI's impact on jobs. While AI can automate certain tasks and create new opportunities, There's also that fear of job displacement. How do we make sure that the benefits of AI are shared fairly and that workers are equipped with the skills they need to succeed in an AI-driven world?
Education and training are crucial. We need to focus on developing skills that complement AI, like critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence. Skills that AI can't replicate. And we need to encourage a culture of lifelong learning so people are ready to adapt as the job landscape evolves.
Some of the sources you sent talked about how AI is already being used to create art, music, even write code. If machines can do all that, what does it even mean to be human in the age of AI? It's kind of mind-blowing.
It's a really deep question, right? It makes us rethink our whole relationship with technology and how we define creativity. While AI can create some impressive stuff, it's important to remember that it's still just a tool. It can help us do amazing things, but it can't replace us entirely. Human ingenuity, empathy, and critical thinking, those are things that will always be valuable.
That brings us to this whole concept of responsible AI development. How do we ensure that AI is used ethically and for the betterment of humanity, not just for profit or power?
We need clear guidelines and principles for developing and using AI. Transparency, accountability, fairness, and safety should be at the core of everything we do. And it's going to take a collaborative effort, with governments, businesses, researchers, and ethicists all working together to create a framework that promotes responsible AI innovation.
It's good to know that people are thinking about these ethical issues and starting to have these important conversations. So as we wrap up our deep dive into AI business opportunities, what are some key takeaways you'd like to leave our listeners with? What are the most important things to remember?
First, AI isn't some distant future tech, it's happening now. It's already transforming industries and creating incredible opportunities for innovation and entrepreneurship. So don't wait, jump in. Second, while AI can automate tasks and make us more efficient, we need to remember that it's a tool meant to empower humans, not replace them. And finally, as we navigate this exciting new world of AI, we have to prioritize responsible development and use, making sure that AI benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
It's been an amazing journey exploring the world of AI business opportunities with you. We've covered so much ground, from the technical details of AI agents to the ethical challenges we face as a society. I hope this deep dive has sparked your imagination, given you some practical insights, and inspired you to think critically about the role of AI in your own life.
It's been a blast. Thanks for having me. As you venture into the world of AI, remember to approach it with curiosity, creativity, and a commitment to using this incredible technology for good.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, stay curious.